All right, team, up next, we got Evgeniy Kharam. He comes to us. He's in Canada now. He's a Russian. He immigrated from Russia to Israel and then ultimately to Canada, where he lives now. So, great episode on developing soft skills, things that are massively overlooked. He is a cybersecurity consultant expert. That's the space that he works in. And he spends time in that very, very technical world, just helping teach and develop basic soft skills. So we scratch the surface on that, and our goal is to come back at some point in time and talk about just some of those cyber threats that are out there and things along those lines. So I've been spending a lot of time, you'll hear in the episode, I've taught a couple times here recently on helping, and what I recognized was the company that I was talking to about core values and teaching them on just workplace communication and things along those lines, being a better team, was everybody inside had this unique voice, and the voice was the voice that was very industry jargon. It was very tailored to the inside of those walls where it made sense to them, but what they didn't realize was that none of their customers could understand them. So you'll hear us talk, and we go kind of down that rabbit hole briefly about how if we're too industry termed, it's really hard for your outside customers to understand the problem that you solve. So if you're a business owner and you're finding, even like if you think about it as a plumbing contractor and you refer, you're into PEX and copper and all the things that make it work, your client knows, look, I turn the valve and the water comes out. They don't understand all the industry terms that goes into that. So I'm just crafting a better message to reduce the soft skills and leaning on those. Let me know what you think. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting. All those messages get read by me, and I thank you. The ones that the folks that's reached out to me, just let me know that an episode made a difference in them or what have you. Means the world. I appreciate it. Can't thank you enough. Let me know what you think about this. All right, team. Up next on the Second Chance podcast, we're joined by Evgeniy Kharam, a renowned cybersecurity architect, author, and podcaster with over 25 years of experience. He's helped organizations worldwide navigate complex security challenges, but what sets him truly apart is his dedication to the transformative power of soft skills in the tech world. From being a second-time immigrant to overcoming personal challenges in communication, his journey is a masterclass in resilience and adaptability. He should share how embracing discomfort and developing critical soft skills can create second chances in both life and business. Can't wait to dive in. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Very, very happy to be here today.
Yeah. And my Southwest Virginia accent is not doing your name any justice today. I did
You're
my
not
best.
the first one, and you're not the last one, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. But tell us, say it for us so everybody's get familiar with it.
Evgeniy.
Evgeniy, yeah. I certainly appreciate that. Appreciate your patience with that. Man, I'm excited. We're going to go down the tech world. I love talking tech. But your journey as a second-time immigrant has shaped much of who you are today. What were the biggest personal and professional lessons you learned throughout that experience?
As a second-time immigrant, you need to learn another language. So Russian is my first language. Hebrew is my second language. I moved from Kyiv, now Ukraine, long time ago, 1990. And then when I moved to Canada, I kind of got thrown right to work with customers. Like learn on the job. So this is what basically I came. I was deeply technical. I was in a deep technical knowledge. I knew what I'm doing, but didn't realize how hard it's going to be to communicate what need to be done. And it's not just what need to be done. The customer expected what's going to be the impact, how it's going to be working, what else we need to consider. So it's not just the technical jargon, it's the day-by-day jargon. And also a lot of people depend on what you do. So this was hard. This was shocking. And when you travel in different provinces, when you're going to Canada, when you're going to US, people in different US places speak differently as well. Yeah. And I used to speak very fast. I used to mumble. I will just sweat when I need to introduce myself. This was definitely a challenge, but it also wasn't just scary. It was a good challenge because I wanted to solve this challenge. I wanted to move to the level when I will be able to very comfortably speak, present, talk to people, and talk to big crowds as well. Took me a while, but I'm there now.
Yeah, that I've shared that. I've never had to go somewhere where I mean, I deal with people not being able to understand me just because of what you said, speaking too fast and not taking time to sound out my words, but never to go into another country. For the sake of timeline, what years are we talking about here as well?
The 1990s, I moved from EU that still used to be USSR to Israel. In
Yep.
2006, I moved to Toronto, Canada, and been in Toronto, Canada for the last 18 years.
So Russian, Hebrew, and then did you take? You obviously know English now, but did you have to take up French as well?
No, no, thanks God. No, no, I
Yeah.
don't speak French. I'm in Toronto. I love people from Montreal. I think Montreal is amazing. Quebec is beautiful. But no, French is not my language. I don't think I will
Yeah.
ever learn French. You say never, but
Right.
somehow I'm feeling Spanish will be faster than French in my mind.
How would you say that helped prepare you in your success in cybersecurity?
The cybersecurity part is very technical, but one of the challenges we have in general, especially right now, we have with AI, LLMs, all these acronyms right now, amazing, smart people. We're failing to explain very complicated topics in a business or simple language that the other people can understand.
Yeah.
So because I was struggling to communicate in the basic English, reinforce my knowledge and my push to be able to communicate to different people. And it led me to use metaphors a lot. It led me to show examples from real life when I talk business, when I talk technology. And it automatically helped me to present complicated ideas in a much easier way. Just like
Yeah.
simple example, in networking and cybersecurity, we sometimes, people probably heard about the firewall. In big companies, they have a firewall. Guess what? In big companies, they have two firewalls. Why? Because if one goes down, we want the second one to work. You don't want your bank to stop working because the firewall went down. So we call it clustering. We're clustering two devices in one part. You're like, what do you mean clustering? Like, okay, think about that you have two cars. They're completely identical. And you come in the morning and you take one car and then one broke down, you take the other one. And now magically think that the second car is traveling always with you. And if the one broke down, you can just switch to another one. Oh, yeah, this makes sense. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. And there's gazillions of other examples we can explain to people by using metaphors from a real life, not just in cyber. It could be chemistry, could be whatever the topic you're talking about.
I think I've caught on that a couple times here recently to where we've become, if we don't hire the right communicators in, we become a business of industry terms, and our customers don't understand industry terms. So we create our manuals, we create our sales stuff, all of our in-house stuff is based off of industry terms, which most folks don't know. You're exactly right there.
You put a developer and accounting person in the same room and tell them, please talk in the same way you talk with your buddies and use the
Yeah,
same acronyms. They're going to probably shoot each other. I'm not saying
yeah,
you should do it, but
yeah,
this is not going to be a good communication.
yeah. No, that's spot on. So, yeah, that's a man. Um, but you've talked a lot about soft skills, and they aren't typically associated with highly technical fields like cybersecurity. What inspired you to focus on the importance of soft skills, and how do you believe they give professionals a second chance at success?
English is definitely important, and I explain definitely why. And also to add to this, think about majority of us now communicating. over Zooms, Google Meets, Teams, so over virtual media versus face-to-face. So if I'm a cybersecurity professional person and I come to talk to you, then you are focusing on what I want to tell you. I have a chance to explain. If I created connection to Jeff, if I was able to find out that Jeff liked fishing, motorcycles, and I can give examples from my real life, and now we're talking about motorcycles together, then Jeff now connecting to Evgeniy on a personal level. Guess what? Jeff will care more about Evgeniy as a human being. He will be more attuned to what Evgeniy is saying. He will care about what's happening because there's a big competition right now in general in the world. There is no one person that's unique or one product that's unique. So yeah, actually, each person is unique. But I mean, there's many similar products. So if I connect on a personal level, if I create this connection, then I have a chance to do much more with you. You will care much more about what's happening. So this is what drove me because I wanted to connect to people. I want to make an impact. I want to make sure whatever we're doing, it makes sense to people. Honestly, on a selfish level as well, when I used to manage people, I always tell the guy that used to work, that if you create a connection with Jeff and something will break down, guess what? If you're buddies, Jeff will not automatically blame you. He'll first try to fix it himself before he's going to call you. Because there's a lot of benefits of this connection. And when we take this to a virtual, unfortunately, during COVID, majority of the communication now became virtual.
Yeah.
Focus shifted because when we in a room, when we eating lunch, you're not on your phone, you're not on the second screen. I hope so. But when we're talking over Zoom, you may have several screens. I have 4 screens. I use a teleprompter. My teleprompter is mirrored to my laptop. So I'm looking at my laptop right now. I still see Jeff's eyes, but you now see half of Evgeny's face. It's me not having good communication.
Yeah.
You may be pitching me an idea, and I'm looking at my second screen and scrolling Facebook and saying, yeah, this is great. Oh my God, this is so amazing. I'm not there. Or in a physical room, I will maybe taking notes in my notebook, and you will see that I'm writing notes. But in a virtual environment like that, I'll go right, and you're like, Evgeny, are you eating spaghetti? What are you doing over there? So there's many, many changes that happened when this physical connection, virtual connection changed. And AI, I don't think so, will solve this. AI may solve simple things of selling to each other, but not this human part, not the empathy part, not the guided part, not the human connection and caring about each other.
Those are the top soft skills that you focus on. Is the communication, the empathy, or what are the ones that you like to focus on?
Oh, several many things. So the first connection, how do I connect in to the other person to understand we can actually have a conversation? And this can involve discovery, research, creating hooks, understanding hooks about each other, cares about what's happening. Maybe I'm going to have a guitar behind me. And when I have a call with Jared, again, you play guitar. So I have a reverse hook with the person. Actually, I never want to have a guitar behind me because I don't play guitar, but I can have something else behind me. I used to have a green screen behind me. You're like, oh, what's up with the green screen? And I can talk about my media production on my podcast as well. This is one part. The second part I like to talk about is the idea of fear. People think that fear is bad, but I think fear is good because fear is what's keeping us alive in many cases. Fear is the step that indicating we're doing something significant, something important. If you see a kitty cat on the street, you're probably not afraid. If you see a lion on the street, you should be afraid. I hope you are afraid. But when you're presenting, talking to people, pitching your ideas, you are afraid. But if you think about that, it's an indication that something interesting happened. And if you take fear and excitement is you know the outcome, fear you don't know the outcome. Can you take this fear and transition to this to excitement? Can you use this fear to burn the energy to kind of impact you even more on a good way? Like, oh, I'm afraid. This is not bad. This is good because I'm excited about what's happening right now. So this is some of the topics and how to calm yourself down. So you want to do something important. but you have this trepidation. And okay, I can take this fear, but I'm so scared. I'm so not there. Like, what do I do with myself? Guess what? When we're in this panic mode, our heart rate is elevated in majority of the cases. What if can bring the heart rate down almost like magically?
Yeah.
And heart rate connected to breathing. What if we do breathing exercise that will force your heart rate to slow down, you to slow down? And by you slowing down, you will no longer going to be focusing on what's blocking you, and you're going to be focusing on the material you want to present, the material you want to deliver. If I may, simple exercise, box breathing. Being talked a lot in Navy SEALs, also as every breathing technique somehow came from India. You know, it's everything that probably was in yogi somewhere.
Yeah.
So box breathing is basically we have a square when we inhale for an amount of seconds, let's say 5. So we
Forward,
inhale
you know,
for,
it's typically forward is what we teach. Yeah.
so forward is going to be 16, but if
Yeah.
it's going to be 5, inhale for 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5, hold for 5. Just for the easier math, it's mean a cycle is 20 seconds. It's mean we have now 3 breaths per minute versus a normal human being have 12 to 20 breaths
Yep.
per minute. And when they're panicking, it could be 30 and 40. So by doing box breathing for like 5 minutes before something important happening in your life, you can lower your heart rate and get to the zone. Like, swear to God, I used to lock myself in the washroom before presenting and doing box breathing.
Yep. Do the same thing. I do before I present. If I'm getting ready to do something, um, and folks, what we're talking about here, don't skip over this. Once you learn to distinguish between fear and excitement, and you realize when you're getting ready to go do what you love, you're getting ready to go speak in front of your peers, you're getting ready to go perform, you're getting ready to take the mic, teach, whatever it is that you love to do, that's not fear, that's excitement. And once you learn to replace fear with excitement, because what you said, you know the outcome. You're going to go do your best. You're going to get to talk about things you love to talk about. So why be afraid of that? I do that with athletes. I do that with people that I coach as well. Replace fear with excitement, and then your box breathing is. But if you do both of those, it's a game changer. Can't echo what you just said enough.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So yeah, right. So when you are struggling with communication earlier in your career, is is there a specific moment like your associations, but did you have a specific moment when your speaking and communication made that significant impact on your career?
True. Yeah. First, we'll talk about the impact on me personally.
Yeah.
So one, Toastmasters, and I definitely recommend anyone to go do Toastmasters. I'm not affiliated, but I think this is the best money for the training can be delivered. It's also a course because before Toastmasters, I didn't realize there's filler words.
Yeah.
But when I went to Toastmasters, now it's like Matrix. I took the pill. I now hear these filler words everywhere to the point I still remember we were the customer presenting and my buddy of mine sales. Like, so we hear, like Joe, this.
Exactly.
So in Toastmasters, I learned that we can replace filler words with pauses. I don't like when people say remove filler words. We're not removing them. We are replacing them with pauses. And slowly, it's becoming common because we're allocating 1% CPU for the technical geeks here to
Yep.
watch how we're saying. And guess what? It's a very interesting part. If we're stressed, if we're not relaxed, we have more filler words because we're stressed. But if we are not stressed, we're paying more attention on what we're saying, it's easier for us, we're not rushing anywhere. It's easier for us to replace the filler words with pauses and sound much better. So this is one part that helped me. Second part, I was always trying to understand and find my voice. I need to speak like that. I need to remove my accent. I'm going to try to be like this person. And then I was doing a voice training with an amazing individual that I'm really grateful that I met him. They told me, Evgeny, if you're going to replace your accent, you're going to just become a Canadian. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, because you're going to lose part of yourself. You're going to become another Canadian. Not good or bad. Just like, okay, you have a very low voice and you have an accent. If you just slow down and spend time on pronunciation better, people gonna automatically remember your voice because it's way different than everybody else because of the accent and because it's very low. Like, okay, that's interesting. And it's somehow just find the correct puzzle in Evgeny. Like, okay, that's it. I'm good to go. Let's go. It really, really helped me because I stopped chasing somebody else. I became myself. And myself is a bit funny, is a bit silly, is very deeply technical and very geeky as well. And it helped me to complete the package, helped me to own my mistakes. Like Jeff, I was doing a panel moderation probably around 6 months ago. And it was quite dry in a place. And there was around probably 50, 60 people in the crowd over Zoom. And the moment I started to introduce the people on the panel, I had blood coming out of my nose. I was like, I didn't know, laugh, cry, what to do. But because I was already in a place where I understood Evgeny can be silly and Evgeny can make mistakes, I'm definitely not a Hollywood star. I was like, guys, I'm very, very sorry. Please introduce yourself. I'm going to shut down my video, clean my nose, and come back. That's,
So I
not,
did it. Yeah.
yes, that happened.
That's what, you know, I catch the same thing. Just I have an accent and I have learned to adapt. I'm glad this conversation went that way because I had a radio DJ friend. He told me one time you mumble too much. He just kind of chewed me out there, and he's like, nobody can understand you because you mumble. And I just took that day around him and just actually started to talk and enunciate my words and not keep my head down, to bring my head up, um and like you said, is just kind of embrace my voice and who I was because it is unique. And what you said is it's easy to remember, um, as long as you can get the words out. And if you can't, then you sound then you are that. Then I become that that hillbilly or the ignorant or whatever terms they would call me. But yeah, that's good
This
stuff,
is
man.
important part of soft skills. Vulnerability. And I'm going to be very
Yeah.
slow right now because if you understand, and I have goosebumps right now when I'm talking about that it's okay for you to be vulnerable. It's okay if somebody gonna laugh on what you say, but you slowly, slowly, walking on ice very, very, very slowly. You probably see people running on a train and they're doing very, very, very small steps because they really don't want to kind of trip and fall. But in general, you can do small steps, baby steps to get out, slowly become vulnerable. You may be hit on your fingers from time to time. You maybe get hurt from time to time, but it will not be the end of the world. To help you to find this life there when you can express your ideas, when you can talk freely, when you learn that it's not so scary, even so it feels so scary. I remember 15 years ago, somebody was presenting on stage, making mistakes, laughing about himself, on himself, and continuing like, how it's even possible? Wow, this is probably different level. But now that who cares? Because again, by saying who cares, I'm not saying I'm not preparing to talk. I'm not saying I don't know my material. I'm not saying I don't care the people I'm presenting. I care more about the people I'm presenting to versus about myself because I'm doing a business. I'm doing not a business. I'm doing a service for the people. So I will do everything possible to dial in the excitement, to make sure people care and getting something from the half an hour, 40 minutes they're listening to me or watching me present. And the moment you kind of turning the switch,
Yeah.
that you're forgetting about this, and slowly, you're pushing yourself, then it become a second nature. When it become native, when it become fun.
It's good stuff. Um, you've got your book, Architecting Architecting Success. You emphasize the power of adaptability, empathy, and collaboration. What advice would you give to someone trying to develop these skills while navigating that challenging career transition or their second chance?
There's definitely many advices, and we already gave some here. I think it's a good idea to get the book. Definitely amazing idea to get the book.
Yeah.
But besides promoting myself, it's important to practice the communication and soft skills, not at your work. Because sometimes I'm not going to do this because if I may screw up, it's not going to be good. Practice soft skills and communication outside of work. Talk to the cashier in the grocery store. Try to make them smile. Talk to someone in a line when you're waiting for XYZ. Try to understand what's happening. And guess what? There's actually no obligation because they didn't answer you. If you couldn't talk to them, nothing happened. But if they did, strike communication. You're like, that on your homework. I got to the point when my kids tell me, dude, dad, we don't want to go with you anywhere. You talk to everyone. This is when you get to this problem, then you probably understand that you're there. There's a lot of ways to practice. Record yourself on the literally analyze your voice, transcribe your voice, see if you say filler words. I mean, talk to your buddies, not the yes men's. Talk to
Yeah.
your friends that will actually tell you. Evgeny, you interrupt people all the time. If you're not active listening, you're really afraid to speak at a date. You talk too much. You're too loud. You're making weird noises when you communicate. Like you can get this information. Find mentors, not mentor, because mentors can be in a different space that will help you to become the better version of yourself. You're not trying to become Tony Robertson. You're not trying to become Robert Horowitz or some kind of Hollywood star. You want to be the better version of yourself day by day, whatever you are, whatever you do, it's just that. Maybe try to speak first at the team meeting next time at work.
Yeah.
Talk to your team lead that you want to have some kind of leading project to lead people and understand this. Definitely, there's many books on a space as well to understand this part. But I guess the main part is take this fear, take care about this fear, translate it to excitement, become a bit more vulnerable, turn on the curiosity, and not less important, if you are not present in whatever you do, you're not able to do what you need to do. What I mean by this, if you have a headache, if you have no energy, if you have no mood, then you don't take care of yourself. It means you need to sleep a bit better, eat a bit better, exercise a bit more. This way, you're going to have quantity over quality, and it's going to be much easier to have the curiosity and the appetite to do other stuff.
The Toastmasters thing, folk, works. I went there as well. There's two places I always recommend folks go to. Toastmasters is a extreme safe space, and they count ahs and ums that help you with those filler words, and it's positive feedback. It's not sometimes they run you through the ringers, but it's good. It's good for development. And then the second place I found that I enjoy is doing some stand up, some open mic comedy nights, and just going in and getting some reps in there. And
Facts.
most of the time, yeah, most of the time those are when they open. It's known. It's like, hey, this may not be funny. Y'all are here because people are testing material. There's no booze. There's no, the whole goal is for people just to get some reps in. You might have someone go up at that open mic night that has never, ever spoke in front of anyone. They're just trying to overcome a fear of getting in front of people. So those are really good, safe spaces that you can go and work. And You can learn what feel there's lights in front of you, and you can know what to do with that microphone, and it helps create those too. So I can't agree with you enough on Toastmasters and the power of just helping to develop your voice. Um, you got a lot going on. You've got multiple projects, including your book and a podcast. Um, how's embracing discomfort and continual growth contributed to your ability to juggle these roles while maintaining your passion for cybersecurity and soft skills? You got a lot going on.
Yes. So I have a lot of drive, a lot of energy. I'm juggling many things, and sometimes it's hard because sometimes I'm focused on what exactly I need to spend the time with. My main job is still cybersecurity consulting, but I got so intrigued with the book that I get very good feedback from the people about soft skills. I'm at least right now on the road to see what's the best way to help people with soft skills, to help people with being better communicators. And it's working slowly, it's working. So this why this positive feedback fuel the energy and bring the fire up to continue doing that work.
Um, how would you like the audience to connect with you? Do you have a particular place that you want to send them to?
Definitely. Thank you for asking. The website softskills.tech, softskills.com will bring you to everything about the book and where you can get the book, some blogs. We're working on quizzes and training as well. On LinkedIn, I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. If you can see my name here, and if not, Evgeniy Kharam, Evgeniy Kharam, and like Harry. Please connect on LinkedIn. If you have a question, feel free to add the question. Maybe reference your show as well if you're connecting.
Can't thank you enough for sharing this with us today. Appreciate it. I think we've only scratched the surface. We talked about 30 minutes here on soft skills, and we have a whole separate side of all the things that folks need to be aware of that's going on online. So at some point in time, I'd like to catch back up with you,
It's
Evgeny,
good.
so we can just cover cybersecurity and some things that I feel like folks need to know when they're giving their kids their cell phones and letting them have free reign to the internet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would love to at some point in time for you and I to catch back up at your convenience so we can go down that rabbit hole. And in the meantime, we'll make sure and share everything you got and all of your stuff will be bookmarked so folks can find you. And we'll keep this conversation going.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you.